Well, welcome back to the Product Biz Podcast. Today we have another episode where we are interviewing some of the incredible members inside the Product Based Academy community. So you get to know about them, about their business, about the amazing things that they're up to, and also about how their business has really shifted and grown through their time in PBA. So these are really fun episodes for me to record because you get to hear the inspiring stories of some incredible small business owners. And today we have Funmi from Limoké, which is a beautiful candle affirmation business. So thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you so much, Monica. I appreciate it. I'm really excited for today's episode.
This is going to be so much fun. So I want to start with some of the basics for the people who don't know you. Tell us more about what your business is, what you make, what you sell, and how you got started.
Absolutely. So Limoké is a lifestyle brand focusing specifically on candles. That's our first line of biz. And all of our products are lined with positive affirmations with the belief of building positive inner dialogue and just getting people more used to normalizing positive self-talk. So that's the
Mm.
whole ideology behind Limoké. I created it in 2020, was when we first launched, but it used to be called Candle Lux Company. And I actually changed the name this year while I was like right after I joined PBA. And so I started it then. When I launched, I sold out in 90 minutes of all my candles. And I was smack dab in the middle of college as well. So um, just processing that. And by the time I was done with college, I decided to take a break, go work a big girl job, and then I came back to Limoké now, November 2024. And here we are.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Now tell us some of your candles, like paint the picture for us, for people who can't see them. So what are some of your best sellers? What are the scents? What are the taglines on them?
Absolutely. I'm glad you asked because I love them too. So, some of my best sellers in the past have been my Bad Bee candle, and that one is scented with rose and vanilla. It's very that girl, very femme fatale, and it's our most popular product, and it's lined with the affirmation that the source of my beauty is within me. And that one is one of our top favorites. We also have a Mocha Mami candle that is that one was released when we were first called Candle Lux Company. It's coming back soon. But that one is scented with cocoa and coffee. It has a little bit of a caramel hint as well. It's really popular in the fall time. And yeah, all of our candles are really popular overall, but those are like the top two, I would say. And then we also had a Bad Bee body spray that was really, really popular. Like I
Mhm.
had people saying, "Oh my gosh, I got this amazing thing," because people were like, "Oh, you smell so good. What's that scent?" And like I had so many stories. Somebody said they worked at an animal shelter and their Bad Bee body spray lasted all day.
Mhm.
So that's like pretty big to be washing animals all day and your perfume is still smelling so good. So that one's coming back soon, hopefully. But yeah, those are some of our top products.
What about the boy bye candle? Tell us about that one. That's my personal fave. I just love
Yes,
it. We've had so
yes,
many
no,
calls in
yes.
PBA where it's like, let's dive into this one. Let's talk about this one. So tell us about that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Boy Bye is also one of my favorites. It's scented with cypress and bayberry, so it smells very much like a cologne. And people have said it reminds them of Christmas as well in the past. But that the whole ideology behind that one and the affirmation behind that one is I deserve the absolute best. And the whole message behind it is for people to release things that do not serve them. I think what I've found for a lot of women or just in general, people in general, is that one of the biggest hindrances for people have been like romantic relationships. And like that's kind of like everybody can relate. Everybody has had some person that they dated that wasn't the best person for them. And so that's the whole ideology behind Boy by Candle. And that one has also been known to get a lot of people to break up with their partner. They're no good man.
Hmm.
So that one is one of my favorites as well.
And I love talking about these candles with you because they have such deep, like, worthiness roots in them. How you talked about the one that's about my beauty comes from within, and this one about leaving what no longer serves you. So I want to talk a little bit more about that, both from like the business perspective, but also just from your background. So let's start with that first. Why are these affirmations? Why are they so important to you? Why do you put them on the candles? What's your story with that?
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked. If you see me looking down, I literally have notes. So I'm not trying to, but yeah, like my whole mission is to help women develop like positive inner dialogue and achieve genuine confidence and self-love. And the reason why I have that mission is because of like my own experience in my life. I feel like a lot of women, a lot of people in general can relate with like kind of growing up being talked down on, being told you're not going to be this or you can never do that, or like, you look like this and you look like that. Especially for women like me, Black women, I've had a lot of people tell me they went through like a lot of negative words. Like people don't realize how powerful words are. And, one of my favorite quotes, I didn't create it, it's literally from the Bible, but life and death is in the power of the tongue. And that's something that is so real. And like for me, I grew up really getting put down, not only from people outside because people are going to be people, but also from the home as well. Like I had a very tough relationship with my mom, and I had to literally, I always say I had to build my relationship with myself brick by brick because I
Mhm.
I I did not like myself because of all of the things I had experienced. And one day I was just like, dang, like I can't live like this forever. I can't live like this forever. This is miserable. And there has to be something better. Like there has to be another side to this. And then I started realizing that one of the things that was contributing to my low self-esteem at the time was my inner dialogue and the way I spoke to myself, inside. Like, let's say I had a test and I didn't do so well, I'd be like, oh, I'm so dumb. And it's like little things that we do like that we don't really catch because it's in our head, right? Nobody else is hearing it. But it's like that stuff is so important. And like your brain literally doesn't know the difference between you just talking and it being the truth. So I'm like, if that's the way our brain is wired, why not use that for my own benefit? Why not try to rewire the way I think for myself? And so that was my whole journey with that. It's still ongoing because life is just life. It's a journey, right? But I think like I just try my hardest to be there for myself, and I try to do things that are like me betting on myself because that also like proves my self-esteem as well. So no matter if it's me having self-doubt or other people putting their doubt on me, I know at the end of the day, I can always refer back to like my self-concept and the way I see myself.
Yeah, that's so beautifully said. And it's so interesting when you say that because whenever you come on a PBA call or just talking with you here, you are so grounded and you are so centered. And it's beautiful to see that maybe there were some hardships in the past, but really you've been able to grow and build that self-compassion. Would you say that that's a big part of the candles is for people to be able to have this candle, this daily routine, to light a candle, remind themselves, have some moments of self-compassion? Is that a big mission with your candles?
Absolutely. That's literally our tagline. Illuminate your self-compassion. Like that
Mhm.
is the mission of Limoké. And like I really hope to see more of that with people, women in general, and especially for Black women like me, because I feel like in general as women, we're not really given the tools to see ourselves, like to really see ourselves for who we are and like see ourselves in a positive light. Like if we see ourselves, it's in like a negative light, usually. Like that's the first way. we see ourselves. And I feel like it's so common, it's too normalized. And I just pray every day with my work and just everything that I represent that I can be an example and I can give people the tools to have that self-compassion for themselves.
Yeah, that's so beautifully said. And I love this conversation because a lot of times people struggle and they say, well, my product doesn't solve a problem. So how do I make my product a big deal? How do I talk about my product when it's not skincare that's specifically solving a skin issue? And it's look at what you're saying and how this candle actually is solving a massive problem. It's the problem of being self-conscious, talking down to yourself, always seeing yourself in a negative light. So it's really beautiful, and it's also very smart from a business standpoint to know what exact problem your products solve. Now, I want to switch and pivot to a little bit on the business side because you went through the rebrand inside PBA.
Mhm.
And you even mentioned how your brand previously was called Candle Lux Co. And now you have this beautiful, elegant, the name just speaks everything that you embody, which I love. Tell
Mhm.
us that path. Did you niche down and become even more focused on some of these affirmations? Did the rebrand help to guide you to better know your audience, or just tell us what your experience was like going through that process?
Rebrand. Okay. So I'll touch on like my process right before I even discovered you and met you, Monica, and like that combined with the rebrand.
Yeah.
So kind of like the year before I joined PBA, I spent the whole year just sitting down and being like, why does this business matter? Because like I mentioned earlier, I took a 2-year break from it because I had burned out really bad. I was trying to focus on graduating college and I just needed a break. Anybody who has ever had a business, you can relate. You can relate with that feeling. And so I just spent the whole year being like, why does this business matter? And I would like talk to previous customers. Why were you gravitated to Limoké, previously Candle Lux Co. Why did this matter to you? Why did you care about it? Why did you recommend it to other people? And then I started thinking about my own experience as well, what led me to making this candle. And that's why I landed on the specific mission that I did. And so then leading into PBA and joining PBA at the beginning of this year, it was really like honestly like fate because I had been, really praying to God like, I want a new look for my business. I want a new name. I've been wanting a new name for years. Like maybe like I'm talking about years. Like I just started my business 2020, but like I wanted a new name for maybe two and a half of those years, 3 years. Just because I knew I didn't want to just do candles. And I don't only offer candles now. And so I wanted to be able to expand beyond that. Um, and so whenever I joined PBA and I saw the options between like the photo shoot and the rebrand, I was like, it has to be the rebrand because I've been wanting this. I've been praying for this and, wanting this for so long. So it makes the most sense for me. So the process of doing the actual rebrand, like Monica makes you walk through, like she doesn't make you, but like encourages you to walk through this entire very detailed process of like filling out the brand guide, doing this, doing that. Kendra and Monica are so helpful. Like they literally will help you through it. You're not alone. But because I had spent the past year doing all of that work unknowingly, knowing I was gonna meet Monica and join PBA, it was like super easy for me because I'd already done that work. And I say every day, like it really was fate for me to join this program. So by the time I filled out the questionnaire, everything, submitted my stuff to Kendra, I was waiting on her to get back to me with the, new look and everything. And I know Monica, you always talk about being woo-woo and stuff, which is like one of the reasons why I like you because I feel like you realize that like things aren't just surface level and I we're here. I get you on that. And I like literally I remember one day I was just like it was like early in the morning and then I just like woke up and I got this very strong feeling to look at a family tree project that I did in like 6th grade. And so then I woke up, I pulled it up, and then like I scrolled all the way to the bottom and I saw my grandmother's name. And immediately I was like, this is my new business name. Like I took her first name and her middle name and I combined them together. And then when I spoke to my mom and like my dad about it, like just kind of asking, what do y'all think before I went to my grandma and asked, because I was gonna obviously ask her permission before I did that. They were like, yeah, like we love it. That's a great idea. Like actually, if you remember, your grandma was also a business owner, and that's something she did like before I was born when my dad was very young. And she was a business owner and she had to stop like due to unforeseen circumstances, just things happening in life. And her business was really booming, like it was growing, and she just had to stop unexpectedly. And she still talks about it to this day of how much like it broke her heart to have to stop that. And my mom was just like, this is like so beautiful that like this is kind of like continuing her legacy. So whenever I talked to her about it, she was like enthusiastic and so happy that this is being done. And like it just felt like a full circle like generational moment that like felt bigger than me. And so that's what led to the name change. And I remember texting or messaging Kendra. I was like, hey girl, I have a new name now. I promise. I didn't know that this was gonna happen when I submitted my questionnaire, but it happened. And the most like serendipitous thing about it was when me and Kendra had that call talking, like showing me like the new brand look. The letter she had emphasized was the first letter of my new name, Limoké.
Mhm.
And it's like somehow she knew too. I don't know. But this is why I really believe in faith, and I really believe nothing just randomly happens. Everything happens for a reason. And so literally on that call, she reworked it in like 15 minutes. Like I always sing her praises. Kendra is like amazing.
Yes.
And she reworked it 15 minutes. She was like, oh, okay, like, what do you think of this? And I was like, perfect. Perfect. You just ate that. Like you did so well. And she's like, okay, I'll clean some things up and then I'll give you the final version. And now we're here.
Ah, oh my gosh, I love hearing that story about your grandma because I didn't know that. I didn't know the name came from that. And what a beautiful, it's even if you think about it, a little bit of generational healing. It's what your grandma loved and wasn't able to continue, and now you're picking it up. How beautiful is that? And
Yeah.
yeah, after I love all the rebrands that Kendra does in PBA, but when I saw yours, I'm like, this is just so good. It's like moody, it's dark, it's deep, it's meaningful, it's soulful. Like that's what you feel from it. So, what were some of the feelings or emotions that you felt when you first saw it? And now that you've been bringing it more to life, like what does your brand now feel to you?
Yeah, like, well, one of the first emotions I saw felt when I saw it, because when we did the first call, it was still like Candle Lux Company, but it was like all of the pieces for Limoké were already there in some strange way. And like the icon that she ended up creating for it, it has like this sort of like, it has this kind of, it feels almost like there's like a tribal kind of African feel to it. I don't know how she just decided to do that. I'm telling y'all, Kendra's amazing.
Mhm.
So like she just like somehow did that. And so like my feelings were just like, this is perfect. Like I could not have done this by myself. I don't think anyone else could have like quite done it the way that she did. So my feelings were very much like enthusiastic and even more empowered to like continue with my business. And it's like now, even like how I feel about my business now, like even times when I'm like discouraged and I'm like, girl, it's a lot. I'm just like, I just take one look at that logo and I'm like, get up, get up.
Yeah.
We gotta do this. We gotta do this. Like, this has to be everywhere. This has to be on billboards. This has to be on journals. This has to be on, Good Morning America. Like, this has
Mhm.
to be on all the things that I dream of for my grandma, for my family, and for myself. So that's how I feel about it.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. It gives like that boost of confidence and it gives that motivation of like, yeah, now I can see this vision. Because a
Yeah.
lot of times when we have our own branding, there's a certain like vision that it creates.
Mhm.
But that vision is going to, I don't know how to explain it. Think of it like a glass container. There's only a certain amount of water that that container can hold. But when you
Yeah.
go through a professional rebrand and you get this brand that totally aligns with your soul, with your business, with your mission, with where you want to go, that container expands, which means your vision expands, which means it's like, oh, these
Yeah.
big dreams, like, heck yeah, this is going to happen. It's just a matter of time. So
For
I
sure.
love seeing that ripple effect because that's the whole point of it is that confidence, that motivation, that excitement.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about after you went through this rebrand, then you still had some Candle Lux products. And I
Yeah.
know that when you were first relaunching the new brand, you were working on selling those and that you sold out of all of them. So what was that like?
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked because that whole process. So whenever I announced the new name, like I said, the new name was like I always like to say it was I was blessed with it. I didn't come up with it on my own. I like to say I was blessed with that, and it was like God wanted it to go that way. So I was like, should I wait until like because we always try to wait till things are perfect. I feel like business owners, we try to like wait till everything's perfect or whatever. I was like, should I wait till I announce this name and like this and that? And I remember talking to my friend about it, who's also a business owner. And she was like, girl, you have the logo, you have this, you have that, you already bought the domain, this, that, like, what else is there to wait for? Like, might as well do it. So I announced it May 1st. But like you said, I still had some Candle Lux branded products. So I was like, kind of like, dang, like how am I gonna sell these? How am I gonna like um get these like off the shelves? And so I remember I was like, okay, maybe I should run different discounts, maybe I should do this. And like, I took some of the like advice and stuff that I got from PBA and everything. But I feel like at the end of the day, it ended up being something that like I completely unexpected. Like, okay, so for example, when I announced the Limoké name, I sold quite a few candles, Candle Lux candles off of that announcement. And then the remaining candles that were left, like, I discovered this app called Whatnot. And it's essentially like TikTok shop, where you sell things live to people who are specifically looking for your type of product. And that helped me also increase my customer base as well because I feel like the thing with that app is it like lets you actually like connect with people that are like, this is what I'm actually looking for. Like I want specific candles like this. You know what I'm saying? And so it helped me connect with a different customer base. And like that was like the combination of what helped me sell out of the remainder of my products, Candle Lux products, was announcing the name, which is like kind of ironic in a way, but also the app that I ended up using, Whatnot, for live selling.
Now tell me about live selling on this app. So what do you talk about and how do you get in front of people?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I feel like for me, I'm not really, I don't know how to describe it. Like when it comes to selling, it takes a while to build that muscle. You always talk about that in PBA. It's like a muscle. You have to exercise it and get used to it. And I feel like Whatnot literally like threw me in the deep end to get me like very used to like talking about my product and talking selling, like because that's what the people are there for. And so it helped me with that. And like so the way it works, you schedule shows. That's the way it works. You schedule shows, and then on your shows, you have people who leave comments asking about your products. What exactly does it smell like? Okay, you said it smells like rose and vanilla, but like what does it really smell like? Then you give certain examples, and that got me very comfortable with talking about my product over and over and over and over again. And I feel like that was something that like was really priceless, if you ask me, because like it kind of like forced me, not forced, but like got me used to being so comfortable with talking about my product and selling my product. And if you're not somebody that like, let's say you grew up selling things in your grandma's shop, or you're like your mom and pop, your dad owned a restaurant or something, you grew up selling, that's something that's like really a muscle that you have to build. And so I'm really grateful that I did that, because now I feel like I can get in front of anybody and talk about my candles and talk about my affirmation posters that I just released, and just be like so confident and so happy to talk about it.
Tell
So
us more about these affirmation posters.
yes, I'm glad you asked. So I actually released them. It's our first Limoké branded product. I released them in July. They're digital posters, and the way it works is you log on to shoplimoke.com. You look at the different posters that we have, and just to kind of give you a rundown on what posters that we have four posters that are inspired by our four original candles. Those ones are Bad Bee, Boy Bye, Feeling Cute, and Fresh and Fly. And the thing with the affirmation posters is like, they're not just like pictures of just the candles. They're like an ambiance lifter. They're beautiful art pieces that my good friend Janessa created, and we line them with affirmations relating to each of those candles. So just like I mentioned, how we had those affirmations that were on those candles, we just put them on the posters so that you can carry, this affirmation in your space. You can have another extended way to fill your space with positive words. So that's like the whole ideology behind them. And each purchase as well also comes with phone a free phone what's it called, lock screen as
Mhm.
well with it. And I think that's really fun, because I mean, who doesn't love a cute little lock screen? And yeah, so that's how they work. And you can print them in any size you want. You can print them big enough to put on your desk, you can print them big enough to put over your bed. And so yeah, that's how the affirmation posters work. We have got like some messages from people where they're like, oh, I love the digital posters. I would also love prints, because the holidays are coming up, and I want to just be able to just like get my print and then like give it to someone as a gift and stuff. So we are working on that. That's coming well. But that's our first ever like digital products.
And they're stunning. They are so beautiful, these posters. I absolutely love them.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me a little bit about TikToks. I know you've been doing pretty good on TikTok too. So tell us about
Yeah. Yeah, so actually, like, it's so funny that you say that, because in all honesty, as far as like social media, posting on social media, like the feed, I've been taking a bit of a break from it. So I'm just being real, like I'm just
that.
gonna see what's going on. But like on TikTok, so my TikTok, I started it when I first launched my business in 2020. And then, like I said, I took that little break from it. But TikTok has been really helpful, because it's helped me connect with people outside of like my usual network, if that makes sense. And it's helped me kind of get my message out more. And it's really helped me to be able to grow my brand in that way. And so yeah, the TikTok's doing pretty good. I want to say that our most I want to say the most or second to most recent video had something like 5,000 views or something like that. Just people engaging and people being like, oh, I never heard of something like this before. This is so cool. Let me follow. Let me do this. Let me do that. And so yeah, if you're somebody that you're like really annoyed with social media and you don't really like being on it, I feel like advice I would give for that is like choose one to focus on, and then like just be open-minded to what can happen for you on there, because it really can be helpful for your business, especially if you're someone that like you have a very tight-knit community and everybody knows everybody. Social media is a good way to get outside of that and like introduce yourself to the world.
hmm Now, one thing I want to ask you next, because you mentioned taking a little bit of a break from posting on the feed. And I know, because I've seen this, that you've been doing some more work with Kendra. So,
Yeah.
the beautiful parts of the rebrand in PBA is Kendra gets to know your brand so well. I have had members talk about how the rebrand questionnaire and really diving into it is like a spiritual experience. You really get to like the innermost core of your business. And then the fun part is after you do the rebrand with Kendra inside PBA, she knows your business like the back of your hand. She's helped create the visual identity that there is opportunity to continue to work with her for branding, for labels, for packaging, where she just continues to take this beautiful visual identity and brings it to life in all of these other ways. So I
Yeah.
know you've been doing a little bit of work with her, right? So tell us what's next, what's happening behind the scenes.
Yes, I'm glad you asked that. So, with Kendra, I know she just changed her name to Kavara Studio, her business name. And so the work I've been doing with her, um, I think initially when I first started and did the logo rebrand with her, I was like, okay, all I need is for her to do the logo and I'll be fine. It's okay. Like I'll just figure it out from there. And the reason why I thought that is because I also have like some experience in marketing. Like I have a bachelor's in marketing and all this. So, and I have some experience with graphic design here and there. So I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll be able to figure it out. But then I had to sit down one day and be like, girl, she's a professional. This is her job. Like, this is what she does, her 9 to 5. This is what she does. So she's really good at this. So you need to let someone who's very good at a specific thing do what they do, you know? And like, so I just decided to make that further investment to ask her to do my product labels, and I also asked her to do like thank you cards. We have little affirmation intention cards that will come in every package. So she designed those as well, redesigned the business cards as well. And like the investment was very like doable. It was very
Mhm.
doable. And like for me right now, like I'm really like I'm bootstrapping. Like I'm in the bootstrapping phase for sure of my business. And so like even for me it was doable with the amount that she quoted me with, and I was very happy with that. And like now the phase I'm in now is I decided, which is so funny because I know you just did a podcast episode on grant applications and grant writing. That's the phase I'm in right now, is grant writing, grant applications, and right now and you know what they say, speak it into existence, right? So right now I will be securing a grant very soon to continue with my business so that I can, restock with the Limoké branded candles, the beautiful labels that Kendra has worked on. That's what's going on right now with Limoké and with us being sold out. So that's what's coming next. And I'm really, really excited because oh my goodness, like she blew it out of the park with everything. So yeah.
Can't wait to see it. I'm so excited. I love, like, this is such a fa fun phase of business. It's reimagining, reinventing, just it's such a fun phase to be in. I love seeing people go through it. So I'm excited to see what the end result looks like for you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, a couple more questions I want to talk about. So you just hinted at how you have bachelor's in business, and you mentioned how you went and worked in corporate right after college. So can you talk a little bit about how your experience in corporate led you to take even bigger chances with your business?
Yeah, so with that, I definitely think every experience you get something from every experience. It's just about like your mentality around it. And so after I graduated college in 2022, maybe like 3 months after I graduated, I started a job in the economic development sector. And so I decided, you know what, like I think I'm just gonna like, focus on this right now. I think I'm gonna like work on this, and I learned a lot. It was for a organization that was based in San Antonio. So I was doing a lot of work in the city, meeting other like small business owners and seeing like their process of building their business, and like also working with like a big corporations, like for example HEB and things like that. So that was really cool. And so just being able to learn from that experience was really helpful. But I feel like at the end of the day, I realized that in order for me to like build my life and what I want, I have to continue with what I started. And for me, I'm not even the type of person like I really love stability. I mean, all of us do, but like I really love the idea of just like having the same routine every day, doing everything. And so like me deciding to like fully focus on my business was like a big jump for me because I wouldn't have done that, to be honest, on my own. But it was, due to different like things that happened while I was there that really pushed me to make that decision. And so yeah, like I said at the beginning when I was talking, I think like every experience you take something from it. It's really up to you like what you learn. And I learned so much about like business and building relationships. I feel like that's what helped me like practice talking to people was my previous job. Like that's what really helped me build that muscle again. So yeah.
Love it. And now look at everything that you're up to and the big things that you're doing. It's so exciting to see.
Thank
Okay,
you.
now let me ask you maybe two more questions. First one I want to ask is what would you tell to someone who's on the fence about joining PBA? What advice would you give them? What would you say about the program?
I would say, for one, I feel like if you're trying to join, so I feel like you interact with things or you see things for a reason. Things don't just happen randomly in life. And I always say like if I had found PBA like a year ago, I wouldn't have been able to join. So it was like the perfect time basically for me. And I would say if you're somebody in this phase of your business where you're just like let's say you're like just getting started and you have some things together, maybe you have some momentum going, but you're like, I want more. I want more than this. I don't want this to just be a hobby. I don't want this to just be something, I do on the side when I feel like it and really want to expand. I would suggest this to you. I would suggest PBA to you because it really does help you with that and it really just hold your hand through everything. Like the modules are so simple to understand and the community that you build, like literally everyone in PBA has probably helped me with something at some point. And like people really do want to see you like succeed and want to see your business do well. And I know for me, sometimes like if I'm feeling down, discouraged, like just seeing the PBA Wednesday, like seeing what people are accomplishing, seeing what people are doing, and like it's inspiring. So that's what I would say to anybody that's like on the fence.
Oh, I love it. Such good insight. Well, let's wrap up with this. Share with us your Instagram, your website. Where can people find you, see your beautiful candles, your beautiful posters? How can they stay in touch with you?
Yeah, our website is shoplimoke.com. So that's shop LIMOKE.com. Same thing on Instagram, TikTok, anywhere else you can find us at Shop Limoké. And yeah.
Awesome. I'll put it in the show notes so people can find you. Thank you so much. So much fun getting to know you more, hear your story, and I'm sure everyone loved it and is going to be so inspired from it. So thank you, thank you, thank you for being here with me today.
Thank you, Monica. I appreciate it.